This is Matthew Hatchett, a.k.a. Hatch, and you are now listening to the One Bar and Lupagus Show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus, and a lot of things happened with the Vikings, so we decided to do a mailbag, and you guys came through.
Yeah, okay. You know, I step away for one day, and shit hits the fan, and now the letters are rolling in.
Letters?
From the mailbag.
Oh, wow, you're right. You're right. And we got a lot. You guys came through. Shout out to Rob E., LS Greger, SSM Creations, Looking for Diamonds, Manitoba Matomedi. I'm sorry, I killed that one.
Matomedi.
Yeah, there we go. Patches Conway, fantastic name, by the way. Angel Dust Senior, FW Ender, and Avery K. Let's do this.
Wow. All right. Let's answer some questions. Woo.
All right. That's some pretty damn good questions. I'll admit.
I hope so. You're really talking these questions up.
What's that?
You're really talking them up. So I hope they're as good as you're saying.
All right. They might not be that great. Which 2020 draft picks do you think will possibly end up on the practice squad?
2020, not 2021.
2020. Clearly 2020.
I think one, Kenny Willekes, a guy, it's either practice squad for him or bust. I think that's his only chance of staying with the Vikings if he gets on the practice squad. You know, last year he had the leg injury, missed the season. So that's his best bet there. He's the one that comes to mind right off the bat. Maybe Josh Metellus. I know he showed some active roster appearances last year, but I think his best bet is on the practice squad this year.
I got James Lynch on the practice squad. I got Kyle Hinton on the practice squad. And that's it. I'd love to say Kenny Willekes. I think we got too much damn talent. I love Kenny Willekes, but
I was going to say Kyle Hinton too, but I think he actually might crack the roster. So that's why I left him off.
All right. Next up, besides kicker, what position battles are you most eager to see in the upcoming Vikings training camp?
Yeah, you know, a lot of mine that I'm really excited about are farther down the depth chart. You know, who's going to be the backup? Who's one of these backup guard positions or tackle positions? Is it going to be Olay Olay? Is it going to be who the hell? Blake Brandel? That's one I'm kind of watching closely. You look down the depth chart at quarterback. You know, obviously Kellen Mond's going to be the backup, but who's going to get the third spot? Probably end up on the practice squad there. To me, that's kind of exciting. Just the whole way the defensive end depth chart is going to shake out. Curious to see how Wanham falls in, how Patrick Jones falls, where their place is going to be. So those are a couple that come to mind right at the bat. Then obviously the wide receiver 3. Is it going to be Smith Marset? Is it they can give to Chad Beebe again? Those are a few that just come to the top of my head.
Okay, it sounds like you are looking forward to every single position battle. So that's it.
Well, I'm sorry.
No, backup guard is going to be a good one. Third linebacker spot, and then the actual player versus player. I'm really looking forward to Dantzler versus Breland, so that'll be a good one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that one's going to go. I know you're on Team Breland. I'm on Team Dantzler. So we'll see.
Let's be very clear. I'm not on Team Breland. I just think he's going to push for the spot.
Well, he'll push, but I think it's going to be Dantzler's job. But we'll talk about that later.
All right. Do you think any of the 2021 draft picks will end up on the practice squad? Could they get poached?
I'll let you start this one. I'm very generous.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think Twyman, practice squatter, no doubt now. I mean, our D tackles are thicker than your chest hair. I mean, it'd be pretty tough to come in and try to beat out an Armon Watts, even though he hasn't really shown much. So I think Twyman is destined for the practice squad. And one that scares me a little bit, Zach Davidson. I think it's going to come down to him or Brandon Dillon, obviously, as that third tight end. I think Zach Davidson's a guy that a lot of teams had their eyeballs on before the Vikings snapped him up. So he scares me a little bit. So those are two guys that really stick out to me.
Yeah, and I think, too, you look at some of these corners who are going to be, you know, we're 14 deep at corner. I don't know where Chris Boyd's future is going to be, how he's going to – I think he's still practice squad eligible. You try to get him on there. I think he's a guy who'll definitely get snapped up by our team just with his experience that he's had over the last couple of seasons. You mentioned Zach Davidson. I think the same about Brandon Dillon. He's a guy I really like. That's going to be a good battle to watch. Talking about down the depth chart battles, who's going to be tight end 3. Whoever doesn't make that could end up with a new team. You know, you mentioned Jalen Twyman. I don't know. It depends where they end up playing Sheldon Richardson. I've heard a lot of rumors of him playing DN. If that's the case, maybe there is room for Twyman on the active roster. I do worry if he would get sniped, though. I think he's definitely somebody who could.
Wasn't he a late 6th round pick?
Yeah, but everybody loves Jalen Twyman. I think he
Not
could really
30
show
on
up.
other teams.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
You love Twyman as much as I love Breland.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
I like it. This one's straight to the point. Is it time to sign Larry Fitzgerald?
It might be. You just look at this, and I saw some guys talking about this on our comments today. What if Jefferson gets hurt? What if Thielen gets hurt? You got to depend on Chad Beebe, Amir Smith-Marset. Can you rely on those guys? I mean, what the Vikings are doing, the way they're loading up, especially on defense, it looks like they're kind of going all in this year. It's Super Bowl or bust. So why would you not have that insurance at the wide receiver position with the veteran? So whether it's Larry Fitzgerald, D.D. Westbrook, whoever, if they do bring in somebody else, that's where I expect it to be. Yeah,
I just want to, whether Larry Fitzgerald, he can come in and have one catch, I just want him to sign him. I want to see him in purple. I don't care. Selfishly, this is just for my own peace of mind. He just seems like a guy that's just is going to go out, be on his one team. I don't know. I think it would have happened by now, but we'll see. I would love it.
Well, I mean, Sheldon Richardson just happened, so it could definitely happen. I didn't realize what a trickster Larry Fitzgerald was. You see that video of him like sneaking up behind people and tackling them when they're doing interviews? He got Kurt Warner and he put the smelling salt in
oh yeah, I did see
Oliver's
that.
nose. He's a rascal.
I did see the Kurt Warner tackle, no doubt.
It's a great tackle.
All right, well, here's a great one for you. What's your favorite sports anthem or jock rock song of all time?
Wow.
Let's be clear. Whatever. What were those called? Was it called Jock Rock? What were those?
It was called Jock Rock. I think it was like ESPN's Jock Rock.
They had a bunch of them. They were like the Nows, and they all sucked. They were not good.
Yeah. I don't even know if this was even on there, but the Olay Olay song they play at soccer games, Bouncing Souls did a cover of that. So I'm going to go with that one just because it's Bouncing Souls.
Well, I'll have to YouTube that because I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if this is... Olay, olay, olay.
Does sound like a soccer song. I don't know if this is a old Vikings game, the Metrodome. They used to always play Welcome to the Jungle right before kickoff, and it was fantastic. So that is it. No doubt about it. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go that route too, then I guess you could go with what's the shit? I just had it. The Led Zeppelin one they started playing, that guy from town coming from the land of the ice and snow, Immigrant Song. They had that one going too for kickoffs a couple years ago.
That must have been a preseason game. All right. Moving on. With the signings and the players that we have quietly, are we a contender in the NFC for the NFC title? If so, besides our kicking situation, what else could we add to this team that would give us an even better shot?
Oh, I think we've already answered this, but we didn't answer the first part of this. And yes, we're definitely a contender now in the NFC. Our offense a year ago was third in the NFL. You look at what we did on the defensive side of the ball, improved all of our areas of weakness. We're super deep in the secondary now, maybe not so much the safety position, but D-line is light years ahead of where it was. So yes, absolutely, especially if the Aaron Rodgers situation continues to get worse and worse. Definitely the Vikings will be in contention in the NFC. What was the other part of that question? Oh, what positions need more help or something?
What else would you add if you could?
Yeah, we already mentioned a receiver, a third wide receiver that we can rely on. I'm still a little concerned. The safety depth overall, we'll see how that, how these guys perform in the preseason. I wouldn't mind adding one more veteran there, and then maybe a veteran lineman, whether that's a guard, tackle, another guy who can play both positions, just to kind of shore up that. Just they're so young there.
Yes, I think the Vikings look good on paper. It's easy to look good on paper. There's no doubt there. I mean, it'd be amazing if for some reason they're not improved on defense, obviously, but there's gonna be a lot of new guys playing with each other that haven't done it before. I've seen a few movies that start out that way. As far as guys that we need to, or positions that need addressed, you hit them all. I mean, wide receiver 3, safety, I think doesn't get as much run as it probably should. Very, very lacking at depth there, but yes, definitely contenders in the NFC North, especially.
I'm going to text you a picture of me later on paper, just laying on paper, see if I look good.
Oh, well, I'll say you probably do. Here's a question like this one. Who is a dark horse breakout player on the Vikings this upcoming season? Dark horse.
If you like it so much, you answer it first.
My dark horse that nobody's really talking about as far as breaking out is Ezra Cleveland. I think he's going to be nice and nestled in back to that left side. Might not be the left tackle, but he's going to be back on the left side. And when you look at his numbers last year, they weren't horrible. I think he graded out at 66 on PFF. Not bad for somebody who gets tossed to the right side and a new position. So I think Ezra Cleveland's going to open some eyeballs this year, and everyone's going to be like, wow, I'm really glad we took him in round 2, and we have a guard for the future.
I hope so. I hope he does break out. I'm going to go with the obvious and easy answer. Tyler
No, this
Conklin.
is dark horse. Dark horse.
Oh, it's dark horse. I forgot it was dark horse. Oh, my God.
Come on.
I'm so embarrassed. I forgot that key word. Okay. What's that?
Not just breakout.
Dark horse breakout. I'm gonna go. I think I can go with this. So I'm gonna go with DJ Wanham. I'm gonna say he's gonna actually. It's gonna be weird for him because I don't think he's gonna ever. I don't know if he'll start or not, but I think they're gonna. With all the guys they got, we're gonna see a lot of rotation going on. I think he's gonna stay fresh. I don't think he's gonna hit that wall like he did last year. And I'm gonna go ahead and say he doubles his sack numbers, maybe even doubles them in a half.
Wow. I would love to see that. I'd love to see some DJ Wanham. I love him. Next up, the big question, what if Hunter gets very little or no sacks this year? What do you think about that?
I think it would be shocking.
And the way they redid this contract, this is his year to make some big old money because next year, what's he guaranteed? Like $22 million or something?
Yeah, which means they'll just restructure that one too.
Well, yeah, but he's got to prove that he's worth it. I mean, if this is all going to come down to his health, I think everybody's expecting him to come in, be the same old Danielle Hunter. If for some reason he lays a big old turd, well, be very surprising.
Well, I just don't. Yeah, I mean, supposedly he's healed up. He's had everything. He's got to get a year surgery, a year worth of rehab. He's got to be ready to go. He's still 26 years old when the season starts. You look at what he's done, though. I mean, this guy's been very consistent last 2 years on the field, 14 and a half sacks. He says 0 sacks or just not many?
Pretty much, I think he was getting just, what if he has a bad year?
Yeah. I think we'd all be shocked. And if he has a bad year, then that means this whole D-line is probably not a bad year. But with all the talent on this D-line, they can't double team him every single play. There's just too many good guys on this line now. So I think he will have a great year.
August 17th, first roster cuts down to 85. What are some names that you got?
Well, it's going to be those guys way down the chart, the Zach Baileys, the I don't want to say Wap Filer because he's your boy, but guys like that, the undrafted guys who are getting these tryouts, those are going to be the first ones. Let's see, like Asim Rose, this running back that we have. Jake Vargas will probably be a quick cut. Just the guys down the ass end of the depth chart.
All right. Available. Let's see. 5-time Pro Bowler Richard Sherman to the Vikings. Your thoughts?
Let you start.
Yeah, this ain't happening. We've signed every other cornerback out there. Richard Sherman is not coming home to Minnesota. Good thought. Ain't happening. I think everybody agrees on that.
Not his home. Doesn't belong here. And yeah, there's just no room for him.
Let's see. Even if Rodgers stays with the Packers, do you think the Vikings have a chance to win the NFC North? I think we already pretty much squashed that one. I think there's definitely a chance with this team. Which quarterback does Hunter sack the most this year? Rodgers/Love, Dalton/Fields, or Goff?
Actually, I think it's going to be the old Jared Goff. You look at Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, they can scamper. Justin Fields the same way. I don't think you'll see Andy Dalton enough to get enough sacks on him. So I'm gonna go Jared Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff, easy peasy. Last one, Sheldon Richardson. Is he the best backup defensive tackle in the NFL?
Why don't you start?
He might, maybe one of these other two is the best backup defensive tackle in the NFL. We don't know who's going to be starting. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but regardless of who's the odd man out and not starting, I think it'll probably be pretty fair that they could possibly be the best defensive tackle backup.
Oh, and there's rumblings they may try him at defensive end. So who knows where his position is going to be? I think this whole thing is going to be fluid, and hopefully it is throughout the season. I want to be surprised. I want to be a surprise attack, sneak attack kind of defense. They'll never see me coming. That's what I want our defense to be. That should be the motto this year.
Is that from a movie or something? Or?
Yeah, Iron Man 3. The Mandarin.
And just to go back to that August 17th first roster cuts, one player that should be immune to this should be Tough Borland. He needs to stick around for a while. I want to see a lot of him out there in the preseason. Tough, Borland, tough Borland.
Well, the other thing we should mention about that is the guys that if there's a player the team knows isn't going to make the team and feels he has a shot to sign with another team, those are the kind of guys you see released on the first cuts too.
Yeah, they're usually
Kai
pretty good
Smith.
about that. They're pretty good about that. That is our mailbag. Our mailbag is bone dry. Thanks again for everybody who's sending them in, and I'm sure we'll have a mailbag very soon.
I feel so much lighter right now, and this will put some weight on your shoulders when you start thinking about this. Drinking a cold glass of water in the morning will wake you up faster than a cup of coffee, and eating an apple will too.